And I just want to say something before I start. You can't have hate in your heart. You can't have blame in your heart. You can't blame one group of people. You can't blame one religion. You can't even blame one political party at this point. We get what we vote for. We buy and they'll sell it. And I see both parties slipping into this. And the reason that both parties slip into this is because the left wing says, I'm so much better than the right wing. They're all a bunch of losers and deplorables. And they think that they're so much smarter because they have more school indoctrination and they listen to, music and eat garlic aioli sauce. And it's all delicious, but it doesn't make you better. And same with the right wing. They're like, the left is so dumb. Yes, the left is definitely dropping the ball in many ways. That's obvious, but that doesn't mean that you're right. And they're going to play you too. And a lot of people need to hear this. Don't blame one religion. Don't blame one race. Don't blame one political party, because both sides are falling for certain things. And I'm going to tell that tough truth today. First story of the day is about Jussie Smollett. Of course, this story got blown out of proportion. He said he got a letter from hateful MAGA people, and then he said he got jumped, and he had a chemical. It was so obviously not true at the beginning, but I was holding my P's and Q's because I don't like to be dishonest or disingenuous. So I'm like, what got poured on you? Was it bleach? Like a chemical substance? What? That's the stuff that they start Syrian wars over. They're like, they used a chemical controlled substance that we always use, but when they use it, but it wasn't really them, it was us. We got to start a war. And Jussie Smollett's like, wah! He's like, I got a chemical substance poured on me. They said MAGA country in Chicago, which is heavily Democratic run and liberal run. It's not MAGA country, but it technically is MAGA country because the whole country is. Anyway, he's like, and a rope was around my neck by two Trump supporters. And, because what I did was I just left it on me for an hour and took my subway home. It's like, dude, if someone put anything on my neck, I'd take it off immediately, and so would everyone. And it turns out, after further investigation, it looks like the whole thing was a hate hoax. He lied about multiple things. He lied about a letter, according to a lot of reports. He got this harmful letter. The dude was looking for something. I don't know, attention, an extra victim card, a raise, some media attention, and a new seat on Ellen DeGeneres' show. I don't know, but it turns out, it looks like he lied, although he's still saying, oh no, I didn't do it. He's fighting. The breaking news is he's indicted on 16 counts of a felony, and I don't know the court process, to be honest. It seems like a bunch of BS. They're always like, we're indicting you, and then nothing ever happens. So let's see what happens. But this is not the only hate hoax or hate crime. And here's what the media does. I have to explain, because I'm going to tell you later in this podcast or whatever it's called. The right makes a lot of mistakes too, and people don't want to hear this, but they're going to have to hear it. But what they do in the media is there's dozens of hate hoaxes just like this. There was a Muslim woman who say they cut her hijab. It totally turned out fake. There's been a lot of racially and religious-driven hate hoaxes over the last year, like dozens. There was this LGBT trans activist that burned down his house and killed his pets and was like, oops, I lied, huh? But no, everyone believes me because they only care about my sexuality instead of the content of my character. It's like, yeah, we get it. We're tired of it. So this happens all the time. But what the media does is it's mostly liberal controlled, and it's becoming liberal extremists. These people who care about gender and skin color more than they care about content of character, which is inherently racist and sexist. If you care about someone's skin color or gender more than the content of their character, that's not right. But the problem is they're in such an echo chamber, and they pat themselves on the back and say, oh, I'm gay, so that must mean I'm a great person. So I'm going to get this $100,000 a year Huffington Post job, and I'm going to oppress all the people I'm mad at or something. I got hurt feelings. Anyway, they control most of the media. There's very small amounts of right-wing media, and when they pop up, the left wing says, guys, don't read that. Don't read Fox News. Don't read Breitbart. I say read it all or don't read any of it. Do what you want. But when 95% of it's controlled by liberals and they tell you not to look at the 5%, that's why we're being lied to. That's why we're being misled on a systemic level. It's because liberals and progressives and left-leaning activists own almost all the flow of information. And when you come along and you counter that, they say racist, sexist, xenophobic, bigot, horrible person, Breitbart, Fox. If you're not Fox or Breitbart affiliated, you're just like them. You're the same thing. You're working for them. You're owned by the Koch brothers. Don't read that. And then they control the entire perspective of the world. It's how they get away with almost everything. It's how they lie. It's how they It's not good. It doesn't matter if you're left or right. That's what's happening. And that's the accurate portrayal of how the tech companies work and how the media works. It's all lopsided, but it's so lopsided, they don't even know it's lopsided. And it's not right. It's not true. It's not honest. And it's becoming incredibly hateful. I'm getting into my next segment. So overall, we'll see what happens with this. 16 indictments from a grand jury. Jussie Smollett, just a huge example of what the media does every single day. This is just the one that hit the hip-hop blogs. This is the one that hit the rap community. This is the one that hit pop culture. This is the one that hit both sides. And they're showing you who they are. The Guardian and others, they're saying, it's showing how hard it is in Hollywood for successful, like they're trying to use victim cards, they're using race cards, they're using, guys, ignore that. What about when people get physically assaulted? What about all of the times that we've been lied about? Does anybody get some fair coverage in liberal media or mainstream media? Of course not. They hate us. They hate everybody who doesn't act and think like them on this robotic scale of just complete deceit. And they actively try to hurt and harm people based off of their lies. And then if you do commit something horrible or do something terrible, but you're on their side, they're like, let's just say it's tough out there to tell the truth for us. It's like they get everything. They rig society in their favor. They lie. They pat themselves on the back. They act like activists when they're really horrible people. They draw up these superhero movies where they have all this animation. They're like, pew, 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 look, I'm saving the world. But it's all fake, guys. It's all digital animation. They're horrible people who are good enough to pretend to be like somebody else for an hour and a half. So you sit and give them your money at the movie theater and treat them like gods while they're destroying your communities, and they're actually the opposite of superheroes. They're in real life supervillains crushing the will of the people. So people are like, are you going to watch the movie? No, I don't care about any of their movies. It's all scripted. Let's talk about a real superhero, somebody that actually saves the country and the world, not somebody who's an awful person who has all this special effects from Pixar and Disney to make them look like a hero. That's, to me, there's nothing exciting there. Sorry, I don't mean to be Ebenezer Scrooge when it comes to movies. That's just how I feel. So Jussie Smollett, that's the story. I'm going to move on to the second story. I'm going to take